In the Dakini Code, Lotus-Born Master, the event horizon, will be exploring the feminine energy field. We'll be looking at water as an energy, how water itself saves information, can retain information, how water can actually be a field upon which the electromagnetic energy waves travel. We'll be exploring how the feminine field is actually emptiness and everything at the same time. We'll be looking at the science of it with some amazing people in Silicon Valley and Sausalito who are on the cutting edge of not only quantum physics and technology, but modern healthcare or prevention of sickness through understanding the body, its field, and how we can rebalance the yin and the yang, or in Tibetan the Yab and the Yum, the Shakti and the Shiva energies in our own body and in the universal field. One of the subjects that comes up in the Dakini Code, of course, is Kama Mudra, or the Tantric consort practice. What does it really mean? Let's not confuse it with sex. Let's get away from all of those connotations and all of those misunderstandings and misappropriations, which have now actually, kind of lightened the whole subject matter in people's minds or have distorted it. We're trying to understand the true essence of the co-emergence of the Yab and the Yum, the yin and the yang, the electromagnetic field, and how we have to have the Shakti energy or the Shivaite energy to be able to grow. How these are inseparable forces, actually they're one force. And we're looking at this from the point of view not only of the practices, but also from the science. And we're looking at how our body is actually a composition of electromagnetic fields, and looking in turn how we can synergize our own body with the natural environment around us to be at one, not only with ourselves, but with the universe as a whole. These are all the topics that we're going to be exploring in the Dakini Code. This has been months of work. We've been in the field, we've been filming, we've been editing, we've been composing a lot of materials. In a way, the Dakini Code, Lotus-Born Master, and the Event Horizon, as the third film in our series, really caps off this entire exploration, because we understand without the feminine energy, nothing exists. It is the universal source. It is that field upon which everything arises and everything returns. One of the things that people asked us was, if you're going to be talking about Dakinis and you talk about this sensitive subject of Kama Mudra or consort yoga, is it going to be offensive? And I think one of the things we were very careful in the entire production is to really work with images of dance, using actually an amazing White Dakini dance that was being practiced. I don't want to say performed. It was being practiced as a practice by nuns to be able to synergize with the quantum field around them. Together, they formed a mandala, and we, as a film crew, and anyone else who was there weren't anybody else there, actually just a couple of people, really, we became part of that mandala. We became part of that field. And it was an amazing energy that they were creating, and each and every one of them was the Dakini. They were actually in that space. They were in that emptiness. They had become emptiness. They were synergizing the yin and the yang within themselves through that dance and through that practice. And those film images, to me, are far more beautiful and far more, how can I say, constructive in a very healthy way to understand the essence of this tantric practice, rather than any kind of sexual images, which we completely avoided because it's so easy for that information to be misused, misinterpreted, distorted, used for commercial purposes or used for negative purposes. The entire point of this is to be able to harness energies in the field that may be considered negative and turn them into positive through one's own compassion, through one's own ability to convert, and understanding that actually there's no negative, there's no positive. Everything is one. They're just different aspects of the same, and everything depends on your perspective and how you look at things. And so this is the issues that we were beginning to discover on our journey to decrypt the Dakini Code.